was the last time I did something adventurous? That's when I was compelled to say, you know what, I also love motorbikes. So to hell with life, let me just ride along and ride away. So things within our areas of control, because here, this between our ears is one of the most powerful, beautiful, amazing gifts that you can ever have. And if we know how to utilize it to the fullest, oh man, I can tell you the world is and can be your oyster the way you want it to be at any given time, according to your terms. Because our brains, they're like gardens. We have the ability to cultivate them and make them whatever we want, water, prune, and plant whatever seed we want. And as we water that becomes what we will eventually harvest. Because it's like this. It's like if you're not careful about it, it can enslave you. Because then it realizes that you don't know how much power is given to you by virtue of you being gifted with something between your ears. Because your brain can make you realize how much worth you have and go after that worth, and how much attainments you can gain in life and go after those. Or it can make you go. Let me use this example. In every 1,000 things that are there, your brain will go out and look for the 3 negatives that are not going right. Only 3 negatives, and forget the 997 things that are going right, because it has learned it's primitive in its nature. Being primitive means it looks for the areas of alarm, areas to correct, areas to defend. Is there a snake there? Is there a lion there? Is somebody trying to shoot me? But then it forgets, oh, I woke up this morning and I'm alive and I'm happy and I had breakfast on my desk. And I still have a career to pursue, and I'm still in school, and I'm still a mother, and I'm now in COVID negative today. It forgets all of these things, but focuses on, yesterday at the bar, that girl was not looking at you nicely. It wakes up and looks at all the things that could be wrong because it wants to self-correct. But if you're not careful and you spend so much time in the area of self-correcting and forget the area of abundance, then you lose track. You have to balance it and say, you know what, yes, 30 minutes of us self-correcting, and then now we are going back to living life to the fullest and enjoying it, because that's how much powerful our brains can be, and we need to be in charge, in control of the brain and its ability to make us either magnificent or to make us destructive or distracted. Wake up each morning and say, how am I doing? Because that's what you want to be asked. Wake up this morning and say, hey, beautiful, hey, handsome, how did you sleep? Because don't wait for a good morning text from somebody, because these are the things that are our primary needs. And if you don't get it from somebody who really wants to know and who really wants to care about how you're doing, you're going to end up having a miserable day because you were not asked good morning or good night or told good night. These are the subtle things that I want us to pay attention to. Yes.
Very true. So, wow. That was almost a book, an audio book right there that you delivered to us. Thank you so much for those amazing, wonderful words. Without even wasting more time, the floor is open. If you have any question, please, you can drop it in the chat, or you can just raise your hand so that we can be able to pick up on your question. There's already one question here for you, our panelists. From Mr. Innocent Tukwi. He says, how does one's spirituality or belief system impact on mental health? How does one's spirituality or belief system impact on mental health? I could give each of you 2 minutes. So let me start with you, Mr. Biso. Just 2 minutes, just to let us know, how does one's spiritual or belief system affect mental health?
Yes. The belief system, garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you put into your head, you definitely saw out. If you believe, for instance, that this tablet is going to heal me, if you take it with that belief, it will heal you, even if it's a placebo tablet, even if it's a fake tablet that doesn't even cure headaches or depression or anything. So it says that Samaya, because there's no better truth to that. We are healed because of the faith that we have in our ability and our power and our strength to be healed. And it all emerges from here. Our belief system is everything. It can liberate us, or make us very limited in how much we can heal and in how much we can attain in life. So it's very, very important, which is why in also the clinical setup, I personally in therapy use spirituality as a protective factor, which means an enabling factor for somebody to go ahead and heal, because I make it to be part and parcel of the treatment approach, because dissolving it from it, you are only making yourself to have a poor prognosis in the healing process of that person if their spirituality has always contained them. Speaking of spirituality again, you know, when people go now in, let's say somebody is really high and drunk, they'll coach you the best verses in the world. You know, people who are schizophrenic, they start to preach the word of God. Don't you wonder why? People who are delusional now or have delusion disorder, they start to tell you of how they are sent by God to deliver a message, or how they are somebody who is so powerful and all that. It's all about spirituality and our faith. Our faith has immense power and ability to propel us to greater heights beyond our imagination.
Thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful answer. Ms. Mabale, do you have anything to add to what Ms. Tepiso has said? Or we can move on to another question, yes.
All right. I think she said it so well. Like as she said, it's garbage in, garbage out. It depends on how you use your spirituality. It depends on how you reference it and how you reference it and how you relate with it. And also it depends on like the way she was saying, when somebody is delusional, when somebody is schizophrenic, they tend to be religious about their aspect of presentation of symptoms, because you find that you take in too much of it and you use too much of it. It can actually hold you back from actually harnessing everything else that you can use to actually foster your healing. But as also a reference point where you can say, I have the Almighty, or I have a supreme being that I can look up to. It's a source of hope for you, and it can actually facilitate your healing, and it can actually inspire you to look forward to something. You have something that you can hold on to, and if it works for you in that way, and it's in a content that is actually in I'll say moderation, for lack of better word, then it is a good aspect of your life. So spirituality, it's both good and bad depending on the use, and it can affect our mental health, good and bad. So it will just be like, how much are you taking it in and how much are you using it, and where are you using it? Because you find that sometimes, okay, fine, this is a time where maybe we can employ something, but then you bring out spirituality, then it's not working because you want to use it where it is not going to be the best option.
Okay, we seem to have lost you there. I hope, can everybody else hear me?
I do.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I think we might have just lost her there. Yeah, hopefully she'll come back to us. But I think we understood the gist of what she's saying in that regard, in terms of spirituality and practicality, and where that all comes together and how that ties in together. There's another question here for both our panelists. So, Ms. Tepiso, I think you will start with answering for us whilst we wait for her to join us. It says, this is from Lefika. It says, I would like to ask both our panelists if they find counseling or therapy helpful on issues of depression. And I ask this because most people usually find it hard to overcome mental health issues through counseling. Ms. Tepiso, maybe you could help us with that.
All right. Thank you so much for that question. Beautiful one. I think a lot of people go to counseling without actually checking for credentials of the people that are supposed to be their counselors. counseling is not just counseling. People take it for granted, which is why it paints really a bad name for us, or a bad reputation for us out there. People go to school to practice psychology and psychotherapy and counseling. So a lot of times, sometimes other people just use people who don't have those credentials, the ability, the expertise to do that, which sometimes make counseling to seem like it doesn't work. But counseling does work tremendously. Actually, therapy is the first mode of treatment entry before we use medication, because most of the things can be tackled through and healed through counseling and psychotherapy, and we don't always have to go to medication as the line of treatment. So it does help a great deal. I can guarantee you on that a million times. I've treated so many depression in my lifetime without even having to go to medication. So it does help. I don't know the gist of your friends and maybe the therapeutic relationship they had with their counselor, because that also works. You have to come in knowing that you are going to find healing and you are going to heal. It's also part of spirituality and faith, which I strongly use in my counseling, but not from the biblical perspective, but from the inherent power that we all have, the ability to heal ourselves. Our bodies have the ability to heal themselves. Our minds have that power, immense power. If we know it, we can heal. That's why some people even heal from many other disorders without actually using the prescribed medication according to their beliefs. And some of them are right. They've actually healed because we have that immense innate power. So you have to believe as well. I mean, if you go to a therapy and you are going to check it out, you won't get anything from it. But if you go to therapy because you are going to seek treatment, there'll be a lot you will get from it.
Thank you so much for that. Are there any other questions? I don't see any questions in the chat. Is there anyone with a question? If you have a question, please just indicate it or just drop it in the chat whilst we wait for that. And maybe let me just say, we'll take 2 more questions if they are there, and then I can hand over back to our Master of Ceremonies. Now, maybe let me just throw you. Okay, here's a question that has come in. I don't know if this is from Faith. It says, let me just read that for you. It says, looking at the high numbers of positive people and high numbers of people who are dying due to this COVID-19, how do we curb this situation? That is a very interesting one.
We do not curb the situation. We accept the situation and live in the moment of the situation and do what we can within our areas of control and influence to overcome any difficulties, any challenges, any struggles that we have in the here and now until the situation resolves itself. It's about gratitude in the moment, fine-tuning into the moment, and waiting the moment out. It's more like your feelings. It's more like you saying, I am grieving because my husband died. When am I going to stop this grieving? It just stops while you do these small works and efforts towards it stopping. But overnight, it won't stop. But we kept this maybe practically by doing as per the regulations, follow the health regulations, let's sanitize, let's social distance, and do make the most of what is known to create a difference and to create impact while waiting for more also to be known and revealed, so that we can also begin to practice that to curb the situation. Maybe it's our new normal, it's our discomfort, but we are not running away from it. In fact, we face it. I like how we face any monster, any mountain before us, and we overcome and climb. And before you know it, we are on the other side of the challenge and of the difficulty.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Mrs. Mabaledi, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. I don't know what I missed, how much I missed.
There was a question that was presented to us here that was asking how do we curb the situation, considering many people are testing positive and many people are dying, which is what Ms. Tepiso was just answering. Maybe let me pose a different question to you. How do organizations such as JCI Botswana, the civic organizations, how do they contribute to assisting in resolving or assisting in mental health awareness, assisting in mental health issues? What would you recommend we do as civic organizations?
I would start off by saying congratulations because you are ahead of everybody else. You're truly part of the mental health, and that is a very noble thing. And
are you still with us?
I am. Are we together?
Oh, you're so low, we can't hear you.
Oh my God, I'm screaming right now. Is it okay?
It's still a bit low, but we can hear you better than before.
All right, let me try. How is it now?
Much clearer.
All right. Okay. I was saying, basically, I'll start off by saying congratulations and well done, because I have been in the mental health field for some years now, but I have not seen or heard somebody say, not a lot of time, somebody say, what can we do for mental health? And I'm thinking you are doing very well. And this initiative today, right now, as we are here, is a very good platform, and it's a very good initiative that is actually adding into the value of mental health, and you're actually doing something. And I think going forward, you can keep on doing this. Maybe also think of like opening much more than Zoom, maybe have other means of reaching out, especially young people and our grandmothers in the village. And I know you are junior chambers, and most of you are under 40. But I'm thinking you in accessing or in doing something about mental health, we need to reach everyone, because painful as it is, it's the truth. A lot of information don't reach a lot of people about mental health, and anyone who can actually disseminate information, the correct information for that matter on mental health, will actually be doing mental health very big favor, and it will be doing mental health justice. And then when I was talking about the demographic of our people in the is rural a good word? I don't like it, but it's there in the dictionary. And the rural settings, I think we need to reach them more and let them know more about mental health, because there is a lot of stigma surrounding mental health. And mainly it's not because people want to stigmatize mental health. That one I want to bring it out right. No one wants to stigmatize mental health. It's just what they know, what they've heard, what they have learned. It's just that they haven't consumed the information that can help them relate with mental health in a manner where they eliminate the stigma. So in order for us to actually cap the stigma that is surrounding mental health, is information, education. And JCI, I think you can take up that one and do something about disseminating information on mental health. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. So more dissemination of information, transfer the Zoom meetings into actual reaching out to the young people in the country. I think we've heard that very well, and we are privileged that. One more question before I hand over back to our master of ceremonies. I think from the floor, if we could have one more question. I'm sure we all have something. Yes, I see Ludo's hand is up. If you have a question, Ludo, please just unmute your mic and just ask your question.
Morning, everyone. I'm not gonna switch on my video because, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, wait, okay. I was saying I'm not gonna switch on my video because I'm still on my, under blankets and all that stuff. So let me appreciate our panel, and then again thank the JCI committee, Lobatse, for the training. I want to comment on Ms. Deseletso's core message for the day, which is mental health is all about doing it for yourself. If I got it well. I think as clinicians, we should not only focus on somebody else doing it for themselves, but rather get to a point where you go deep, you explore a lot of whatever the individual is going through, because people are different. We got different cognitive processes. Just to appreciate it, some of our participants just talked about it, that the other one was doing well, the other one was not doing well. So that alone just shows us that Kili Ludo alone, as a nurse, hanka ke kare wena client X, look at yourself, see what you can do, see how you can work around your problems and all that, because with COVID-19 and experience here, I may to give an example, the people I work with, clinician, and most of them were not coping. They have a lot of information about COVID. They know they can go seek help wherever they can, but the fact that they were just there alone and more brimming ya gore I might die anytime, go mo hela alone go ba tsenya panic attack. So I feel like the way Miss Nanda just said it now, re gogele thata to that point, other than ya gore a client or motho o tshwanetse gore a bone gore ene o dira jang ka mind wa gagwe, ka tlhaloganyo ya gagwe. After all, we have a lot of things tse e leng gore they influence our behaviors. So I just wanted to comment on that one. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. I think what she's saying is that we have so many multivariate issues that we have to deal with in regards to our mental health issues, that is not only one approach that works. And I think that's the thing that has come out throughout the whole conversation today, that there's so many things that we need to do, so many angles that we need to cover, so many areas that we need to think about as we go along the process of, one, becoming more aware of mental health issues, two, trying to deal with them, and also understanding the impacts and effects of all of this, especially in this COVID-19 period and time. Let me take this opportunity as the moderator to say a special thank you to the organizer of this conversation. Special thank you to our panelists, Mrs. Mabaledi, as well as Ms. Tepiso. Thank you so much for your insights, your knowledge. Unfortunately, time doesn't allow us to truly pick your brains and to truly take away from all the years of experience that you have to really give us more. But I believe that this is the start of a wonderful relationship that will allow us to continue calling upon you to give us further insight. There are subjects maybe we might need to sit down and dedicate to a conversation alone like this. So thank you so much for affording us your time, for seeing it fit to grace us with your knowledge. To the participants, as has already been said by our panelists, thank you for being so brave to share with us your experiences, your thoughts, your feelings. And sometimes it has been truly hard. It has been hard, but you have pulled through and you're still here with us here today. We are grateful to God for your life. We're grateful that you are still fighting. We're grateful that you have learned lessons. We're grateful that you are also making it possible for others to become aware of what actually transpires when you're diagnosed with COVID-19. Many will learn from this video. Many will learn from this conversation about, oh, so I'm not alone feeling this way. And so we're truly grateful for that. And yes, let me also say that on behalf of our national president, she sends her apologies. The connection is being very difficult, but I'm sure she's truly grateful for each and every one of you being here. Thank you so much to JCI Lobatse for organizing this conversation. I am handing back to our master of ceremonies. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brian.
said everything that I wanted to say. Thank you so much, everyone, the panel participants. I really enjoyed it. It's really touched my heart, and it's beautiful. A very beautiful conversation. But also how they experienced with this corona thing and everything else. With that being said, I would really like to thank you for coming. We appreciate your presence and hope you come next time. Someone didn't meet this like thank you so much. Over to you. Thank you so much for muting. Everyone, thank you so much for your presence. Like I said, until next time, I really, really, really appreciate.
Anyone who can take a picture for us, kindly help us with that. Let's kindly switch on our cameras and then have someone take a picture for us so that we can all see who was here. Anyone who managed to take the picture?
I'm still waiting for others to switch on their videos.
Oh, okay, okay. There we are. Our national president is back online. So, Mr. VP, please go ahead with the pictures.
But to make silly faces, make silly faces. Don't be serious. Make a silly face, please. Make a silly face. Don't be too serious.
Secret location. Hey.
I remember it's a secret location.
We want to see those pretty faces, please.
Let's call on serious.
Lemos, kindly take off your mask. Oh yeah, there you are.
Location.
Our senator, Mr. Tuki.
I'm actually hiding behind the mask.
Don't be. We want to see that pretty face.
No, because I don't like how my internet behaves. I don't like being late.
Mr. Chinga and our VP, kindly switch on your camera, sir. Mr. VP. Mr. VP is back online. Chinga. Chuba camera la mo dikubo mraya ka re go tsaya snap. Hey.
On side me peka.
I'm done.
Oh, but like I know ni mraya ke.
Ow. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've taken enough now.
Okay. I think we are done with the pictures.
Thank you and goodbye. I have to go.
Close our meeting. Bye, Miss Neo.
Mr. LP,
Bye, everyone, and thank you for your attendance. Ra. Evidence. We need to show that they were there. Come rain or sunshine, come sleepiness or whatever, they were there. Okay, thank you guys. Bye. Until next time.
You guys got
Bye. 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 Bye.